All right, we're live. I think the mic should work in this position. I may need to put earbuds in. I'm not used to hearing my own voice. This blocks the sound. All right, we're gonna give. Yeah, that's better. I can be a little bit louder without being self-conscious, I guess. We're gonna give it a little bit of time, I guess. Wait for some people to come in. Thanks for watching the VOD. I've got the feeling someone will probably be able to provide a timestamp. Well, actually, I guess if we're uploading it, I can just upload a timestamp that lets you skip ahead to where the probably the part of the discussion that a lot of you are popping in to see will start. But for now, I just want to give it a little bit of time so people can get here. What's going on, guys? How's the audio? Is the mic okay? Is the music in the background okay? I mean, it can probably be a little bit loud for now, I guess. Those of you guys that are getting in here early, you know, that's super cool. Thanks. Apologies. I'll probably ask that you wait a little bit before we dive in. But hey, what's up, Rascal Rooster and Roll and Mr. Jigs and Coffee Tooth and Be Mighty. Gloom Under Night. For some reason, I don't recognize that name, but Ant Ref and Byreal and Pizza, Cactus Coder, Datasaurus. What's going on, Klaus? I hope you're still enjoying things. I saw your stream pop up in the Discord. Let's see. Beer Chug. Brown Butcher. Hey, buddy. Gunavov. Chaz Solo. What's up, John? Gorf, the Imp. I'm scrolling up. Hey, Slayheim. I have not finished the Robert interview yet, but so far it's been fantastic. Such a fun talk. Man. Pack Attack. Sarah Farlong, hello. Fighting for you and Bolo Boy 12. Thank you guys for the follows. What's up? How you doing? Afoot? Captain Hook. Beer Chug, of course. FT Grand and the Real Awesomer. If you guys have been lurking, cool. If not, welcome. Oh no, actually, Awesomer actually tells us what's going on. Finally getting a chance to catch a live stream. Well, this will be an interesting one to catch. Welcome. I'm gonna get caught up in a bit. Justice Death Touch, thanks for the follow. Mobcs. Is that how I say it? Welcome. Gulu Gulu, hello. Vorar 78, Phantom Ghost, Malsirian. Welcome, guys. Sayheim said thank you. Yeah, Robert is amazing, man. It was great, dude. He is the real deal, man. And he is a legit dude in real life. He's super, you know, he's a stellar example of the blessings that we've had on the team. Oh, and there he is. Hey, Robert. What's up, Todd? Yeah, me too. Channing Tatum, what's going on? taunt him. Always. Ryan's Devil. Hello. Hey Pity, what's going on? XV. Hey John. What's going on, Perez Dispenser? Biscuit. Crawl. Hey Cad. Ever think about growing your beard as long and big as you can? Cad asked. Let me show you some pictures of when I lived in Austin and you'll see why that's a bad idea. I had it like down mid-chest. Super hipster. I don't know, man. You'll see the picture, you'll understand. Frosted, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shocklin. Is it Mr. Mortre? I probably messed it up. Yeah, it was super ZZ Top. Did I comb it? I did for sure comb it. I also continued to do jujitsu with it. And talk about a sore chin when you've got like somebody rear naked choking you through your big fat hipster beard. Hey Matthias. Why double chat? Is there double chat? Okay. I thought you meant like something on my interface. Slam Bits, hello. Fridge fried taters, hello. What's up, Tim G? Matthias. Man, I see you guys so often, sometimes I feel like I just read your name out. So those of you guys that have been around for a bit, I want to just say in advance, yeah, apologies if the stream is like odd. I'm actually, for the first time that I can remember streaming, a bit nervous. This is one where I think we all know that we've got stuff to talk about that we can't fully talk about, and I just don't want to screw it up. So, I mentioned to the team that I'd like moderation to be pretty light, right? So if if people come into stream, if there's some raids or whatever in a bit, whatever. It's just moderation should be light. In here, I don't care, man. Like, we've had 5 years of basically very chill community. I think we've, aside from like bots, I think we've banned, I don't know, 5, 7, maybe 10 people in the 5 years that we've been here. And honestly, no real need for that tonight. For people that are maybe like checking out the VOD or whatever and looking for music, does seem loud. All right, let me see if I can pull it down a little bit. We'll see when the next song starts. Can't imagine what people had to do to get banned. Yeah, I mean, it was, I think there were a couple where it was just like fighting with everybody in chat, and it was just like, all right, and then a couple of super edgy words. That's about it, man. And honestly, for the most part, that was kind of the history of the project. But you know what? The community's getting bigger. Santa Pask, hello. What's up, Bill? Glad you're here. Dr. No means no. The names you guys come up with are... Hey, Class and Cool. Bad Lava. Hello. What's up, squats? Justin Beard, my dear friend. Hello. Hey, Thadvik. Are there still playtests happening in 4 days with all the in-game issues and people who can't log in during patch due to patch required problem? That is a great question for Ali. Ali is in here. Hello, Ali. Hey, G Willikers. Dursey APM and Model Y Guy. Thanks for the follows. Squats said, speaking of, how cool was it to get a Sequisha raid to Chinny? Chinny said, long time sub, cool dude. That was incredibly unexpected. I associate the Sequisha, like, hopefully I'm saying that, pronouncing that right. I associate the, like, emojis with Chinny so much that that's always how I picture Chinny to look. I just think they're the same person, really. Exactly. That is, to me, that is always my, like, that's literally what I picture. If Chinny's in Slack typing, that's just what I picture. Because they sort of came into, I paused because, like, came into my life sounds weird, but came into my life together. Hoku, thank you for the follow and for the continued feedback and everything on Discord. Appreciate it. Ali said, referencing the question about the playtest, Ali said, hey, Sparrow. He didn't say that. Hello, Sparrow. Just so I don't miss it. Ali said the patch required problem seems to be related to using the old launcher. I will see if it fixed itself yet or not. The new launcher works fine, though. Klaus, hello. I said hello to you earlier, if you missed it. I saw it as soon as I saw you in here. I'm happy to see you streaming. Latent Meta. Big stick of butter. Hello, guys. What's up there, like? Dawn on my luck said, Ali, I've tried using the old launcher. To which he responded, you may have to delete everything in the new launcher data folder. I don't know it offhand though, since I'm not at home, but I had hit up Trent or First in Discord. And always hit repair. Hey, Tupac. Wallabus. So once its stream gets rolling, it probably won't be a super long stream. And at the end, I don't plan on raiding anybody or anything like that. Just gonna run through some stuff. And then just wrap it up and peace out. I think just because this is an off hour for the VOD, or for the stream, and it won't be a longer one, and it wasn't like announced or anything. I think a lot of people probably that are interested in the VOD and in the topic will probably, in the topic will probably end up just watching the VOD. So, like I said, this is one where I'm not going to say a ton, and that's for a few reasons. One is just, we can't, you know, that's how these things go. And then the other is just out of like, it's a weird situation where it's obviously naturally unavoidable that it's a topic. It's just one where hopefully we can get the information out that helps it be more of a understandable topic, and it can just kind of, you know, everybody involved can do the things they need to do, and we can move forward, right? So again, I will try to keep things relatively concise for me. I think there are some things that are, you know, important to like reiterate or say, especially for people that are new to the community, or you're watching this VOD, or hopefully watching the VOD, not just watching a clip, or not just watching somebody's interpretation of the VOD or a clip, or whatever. Hopefully people are just watching the VOD, and then, you know, assess things the best you can, and instead of letting somebody else maybe interpret it for you. And I'll try to provide information about the situation that hopefully provides a little bit of clarity. I don't know that Dungeon Tension Queues is the right track for right now. Though that is, well, and then I wanted to move past that to, that's fine. I just want to keep looping. Anyways, I mean, my biggest, biggest thing that I want to do is try to provide some clarity without like screwing this up for, you know, for the team or anybody involved. And it's interesting. It's interesting, yeah, because like what you're saying is we've tried to be very transparent, and I'll hit that later. And then we hit something where it's like, it's something where we just can't be us. And the challenging thing is, and I'm gonna try to, like, you know, if you've watched the stream, if you haven't before, I don't know what you're gonna think of this or what to expect or whatever. But if you haven't watched any of our streams before, or VODs, or if you've watched like, you know, Nick stream or Goblin or anybody on the team stream, you're not familiar with me, it's posted. We post our VODs. We've got 5 years worth, basically 4 or 5 years worth of VODs. You can go back and see. And again, just kind of make your own assessment of, I don't know, the whole picture in terms of like our background or whatever. I know already, I apologize, I know already there's going to be some comments about, and then Sean came on and rambled for an hour or whatever, and what was that? I'm like, I don't know, man. Internet. We've always just tried to do the best we can. We've basically, if you go back and look at the early VODs, and I've got presentation materials because I sat down this afternoon and was like, I don't know how I'm going to approach this. I'm extremely nervous to like not, like I don't want to, you know, screw this up for the team, and just for, you know, people that aren't familiar with the project, like, oh, they walk in and there's like drama. They go to our YouTube, Monsters and Memories, and you can, if you want to start at the beginning, you can sort by oldest, and then you can start to go through it, and then you'll then you'll kind of see. And all of this project started, for those of you that don't have the background, all of this project started just from stream discussions, and we started talking about what if we made a game, and that's that's ultimately how we got here, right? So probably the best and like the best way to do this ultimately, and in the future, hindsight will say there's probably a reason why it's the best way to do this, is that you just write like a little snip and then you go, hey, here's a new snip. But the problem that I see with that is when we present information basically just as ourselves, no bullshit, on live streams, like a lot of times just winging it. For the last 5 years, we've been winging it, and we're just like, oh, we're going to do something, and it's going to be the way it's going to be, right? Like, to then just have it like be text pushed out to you doesn't feel personal. It doesn't seem legit. I think that no matter what I'm about to say or what you think of it, I think just doing a new little bit of text update would not be the way to do it. And so again, let's just go and figure out if this info helps you some. I didn't want to like create like a PowerPoint or something, but I needed notes. My hands have been sweating for like 4 days. So I wanted to basically just like write some notes down so I can get through the shit once we start rolling. And then, maybe there's some questions that I can address. And if not, then that's that. And then, like I said, we'll wrap up the stream. We won't raid anybody, and then we'll see how it goes. And if it goes well enough or whatever, then I want to. It's unusual for me to not want to stream, right? And I know I haven't been streaming a ton in this last period. I used to stream more, but I've just been busy, man. Like, and streaming for me is typically late in my day. It's like I usually start 8 p.m. and so there are days when I'm just tired. And as you guys know, even if you're just guessing, like game development is hard. Game development on an indie MMO that's all volunteers is actually been about the same as game development in general. It hasn't been, this has actually been a really, a lot of this process has been really solid, but every process has its challenges. So we're 23 minutes into the session. I don't have, I'll just look, I guess, and guesstimate. All right, that seems like a number of people. My assumption is if you're not in here at the moment, then you'll probably come in at the end and ask for a recap. People that are in chat, feel free to recap, answer questions. And like I said, ask the team to be very light on moderation. And the main thing, just in posting the, hey, no speculation. Again, it's funny. Somebody on the team was like, yeah, well, Streisand effect. It's like, I don't know. So we don't have a professional PR person. We don't have a marketing team. We don't have a community manager. That's just not been who we are, right? And so I don't want any of this to sound like flippant or anything like that. I know that I'm known for like trying to inject dad humor and stuff and have a personality. So I'm not going to be doing that beyond just that last comment, I guess, here. But this sort of analogy is legit. We're kind of like, I was telling my wife, we're like Schrodinger's project. we exist in two states at all times, especially in the last year and a half, right? Because if you go back and you look at the way it used to be when we started, the first year, I mean, you can do it yourself. You can do this experiment yourself. Just, you go back and you click oldest. And we got 100 views. And that's the project. And we're sitting in there with, at that point, mostly art that I made. I think probably all art that I made. And that's it, right? Like, we're just this little janky thing that people are like, all right, why are you even bothering to do that? And it's going to be, it's going to be like 5 people playing it. And we're like, yeah, but that'll be 5 people playing with us, right? We're excited to get anybody in to play with us because it was just us. And we just kept doing that. And this project started because of this stuff, right? Like, there are people that have, I think, found out about the project recently, and it's been a blessing. Like, the fact that we're like this tiny project that, if you ask a portion of the internet, we're this tiny project with a team that's never going to get paid because only 500 people are going to ever play this, or 5,000 will play, or 10,000 will play, but it's going to have 500 people after 2 months. At the same time, we're a project that we're doing it for the money, and we're just trying to take the money and run or something. Or we're a project that is only going to have 500 people that's playing it in 2 months. But why did Sean get on Reddit and moderate and be in Discord and moderate, and why didn't they get some pros to handle this situation or whatever? And it's just like, we don't have pros to handle the situation, dude. We're a tiny volunteer team. And so it's this weird, we live in two states kind of situation where we're this tiny project that, if you ask a certain number of people, are making a bunch of the wrong decisions and no one's going to care about. And on the flip side, it's like the biggest news in the world. And, how dare we like try to do this in a professional and legal manner over the last like 5 days. And so the thing is, we've always approached this project as, even from the moment we got together, we went from basically a bunch of just discussions about what we think would be a cool game in the community with peers, that, like, these topics started coming up in discussions with these guys even. And then we got together and we formed a little team, and then we went and we just kind of used a lot of expertise and experience that I had from my background, and a lot of the input that you guys had in every stream, because we were streaming the whole time. And it's grown, and now we have a lot of people checking out, and it's more people than we would have expected. But the project is the same project, and our ethics and who we are, it's the same team, guys. And so, yeah, it's been a weird one. I can say that everything that people are worried about is understandable. And we get it, and I will basically move to the actual topics that people care about. And I think this will be the one that most people that are, I don't know, reading the most into the situation will be looking for. And again, I want to be clear that yes, I am trying to be as much like the way that we've always been in approaching this, so that you know that we're not all of a sudden like pulled a switcheroo or we're bullshit or something like that. We're the same team and same people, but there are things that we need to be careful of during this period, and yeah, so let me try to provide clarity. So, obviously Nick was a member of the M&M development team. Nick is a founder and co-owner of Niche Worlds Cult. M&M is a game being developed by Niche Worlds Cult. NWC is the company, not the game. Our hope has always been, if this thing works, which that's a pretty big if, you know, for us, it's always been a pretty big if, but it's one that we felt was worth trying for, then maybe we'd make new, you know, additional games or whatever in the future. But our focus will always be like M&M. But M&M isn't the company. All right. So Nick isn't on the M&M team anymore. Nick is still a co-owner of the company. All right. The reason why we're being cautious in how we discuss this is because we're discussing the details of that. There's a difference there, right? Like, so we can't speak to the specific details beyond that. That's it. We're in a discussion about what this looks like moving forward, and we want to make sure that it's handled fairly for everybody involved, just like always. I mean, all we've talked about for years is just like, how do we make something awesome for the team? Right? I've had my previous awesome game development experience when I came into the industry and worked on EverQuest. That was something that's, up until M&M, that was the coolest experience that I've had. And then this project has been great as well. But, you know, again, all projects have challenges. And so the current situation is one where, and I'm going to clarify because I already see in chat that there's like speculation on what that means. It is, Nick is no longer on the M&M team. He is still a co-owner. Right? So he owns as much as of the company as I do, as Ali does. And we have, you guys, not to leave him out, but there are four owners. And the fourth owner is in here often. We talk about him, and he is in here. He's not really silent, he's in here. He's just, he's got a much smaller stake. He came in later. And he's been with the team for quite a while now. And he is, he's an environment artist who also happens to be a lawyer. And we were like, hey, all three of us were like, that's a good combo for us. And we all agreed, and we brought him in as a partner. And yeah. And so, but that's where we're at with it. Right? Like, please don't speculate. Fuck. I did it again. I can't. You will speculate. I understand that. That's not what I mean when I say please don't speculate. Oh. What I mean is, and I should have never wrote that line. It was like unnecessary. Like, feel free to speculate, I guess, but don't make, like, there was an assumption that was like, oh, is there a new project? No, that's not what I'm saying, right? Like, it's we're just trying to figure out how to move forward. But for, you know, yeah, the main thing that I was worried about on the days that we made the announcement was like, and you're gonna maybe think this sounds like bullshit or it's hokey or corny or whatever, but it's the same thing. Like, I wake up in the mornings and I immediately check to see how many petitions we have, and the guys have been holding it down a ton lately. And I mean, Atomic Frog is our accountant, and he's pulling petitions all the way up until like when I can finally get down to my computer, and then we're starting to get more coverage. But it's like, I feel bad if the team's got to carry extra like burden that is something that I could do, right? And that's just the way that's the way I just was brought up to work with people. And so when I was like, oh, I've got to hop in like Reddit and Discord and stuff and like crash out, I guess, according to people, and maybe I did, I don't know. It's just like there was stuff that's being said that just was like uncalled for, whereas we don't need that. But like if there's questions, if there's speculation that's not like harmful stuff or leading to, you know, no one wants to hear some of that like mean stuff or bad stuff about anybody involved. Like, we get up here and stream, and it is a lot of fun. And being in game is a lot of fun. Answering petitions is a lot of fun. Even the bullshit like camp disputes and stuff like that. The fact that we get to be in our game and we see people running around and like playing the game and having fun. That's fun. Making games is hard. Making any product is hard. Being in business is hard. And, you know, we are a 40-person team, man. Right? So when people are saying like, if you go into, you know, a stream with Nick, be cool, be nice to everybody involved. If you want to be mean to like somebody, or if you've got smart ass stuff to say, or if you want to, you know, whatever, like, sure, I'll take it. Like, bring it in here, I'll stream some more. But yeah, we haven't taken any money from anybody. We didn't just not take your money. We didn't take publishers that we've talked to's money, and we reached out to nobody. We've been blessed to have like some people who love what we're doing and want to, you know, invest. And it was never the right thing for the team, and it just didn't make sense for us, and we didn't want to compromise who we are or the direction that we're on. And so I think, you know, the only thing that felt weird about this, and you know, when you're in the middle of it, you don't necessarily see it coming. And again, I guess that's why you hire PR people to handle this. Like, dude, we're a volunteer team. Everything that's being paid for, with the exception of maybe an account or of something here and there, or like Twitter Premium or some shit, we post our numbers, right? Like, you guys, again, I have tabs open for people that don't know who we are, right? Like, we post our numbers. You see how much this project cost us. You can go to the website and look. That money has come out of our pockets. That's just savings. That's my savings. The speculation about like, I don't know, that I'm on German welfare or something was interesting, but like made my wife laugh. My wife has a really good job. I've worked pretty much ever since I was 19. And I was covering her while she lived in Sweden with me for a while and took a little break from what she does. And she's a dental surgeon, oral surgeon, and she does well. We have very cheap lifestyles, man. I work, I wake up, I work, I drink instant coffee. I have a gym upstairs so I don't even have to do that. To go anywhere for that. I walk the dog. We go to the garden when the weather's good. We're not like super expensive people. One day maybe I'll give you a tour of the closet that is this office. And you know, the money just goes into the project, and that's that. And I honestly, we're blessed to be able to do it, and I love it. And Ollie is, you know, Ollie's covered more than his share, and we've asked for no money from the team. You know, in certain situations, if people have been in a really tough spot, we've tried to help them out, and that's that. And I'm not like, I know that this video will probably get analyzed to death, and it'll be like, I don't know if it's meant to, this is supposed to be a cope or some distraction or whatever, but like, it's just, this is all the stuff that we've been saying for years. Like, none of the shit's new. So we've provided as much transparency as we can. We're going to provide more transparency. You know, the various things, again, I brought props. It's like, but when we look at like our numbers and the stuff that we provide, the hope is that you guys have dashboards that have all of this information when we go live, right? Like, the dashboards are, you know, that's what this community page is for. And server metrics will eventually just be metrics, and you'll see a ton of hopefully everything. You know, we have an accountant on the team. Like I said, he's an amazing guy. He's also pulling petitions and stuff. And like, you know, when he got a team, it's like, hey man, we're going to show everything. And this is something that I've been, you know, this stuff is important to me. Like, this is a part of the project that I think is just as important as, you know, is it an interesting world? Is the lag fixed in Night Harbor? Though the lag being fixed in Night Harbor is probably more important than whether or not you have cool dashboards to understand that, like, where our revenue is coming in and then going to. And we're going to show that. We'll show you where the money is going. And I can tell you up front, and you can call bullshit on it if you want or whatever, but like, we've already talked about the fact that we have different groups of people on the team who are front loaded at different stages. To these guys really need help and they need cash, and they've been laid off and are, you know, working, or they've been working for a long time and they're freelance or whatever. They're front loaded to be full-time and part-time first. And then we have a chunk of people that, hey, if the money is steady and good, then they will potentially be able to go full-time or part-time. And then there's another third of the team that's like, I have a good job and I do this because I love it, and if we can get some profit share out of it, awesome. And then Ollie and I are we are last to eat. Neither one of us, and I can speak for him on this, neither one of us are here to like make a grip of cash. If there's a grip of cash, great, but the more that we can have that be something that is transformative for the team, the more that feels like a success. Personally, I just want a company. I want to see if we can actually make a company out of something this crazy and strange and have it, you know, last for a while. And that's it. And we want to take care of everybody that was, you know, that's involved here. That's so, and again, I know at this point, I probably should say less because there's probably technicalities in what I said about that. But so again, forgive me, partners in team, if I said too much or whatever, and that's what history eventually shows. But I just want to be clear. So on that note, with regards to the team, please be respectful of the team. This isn't fun for them either, you know, like it's something that happens, but it's not fun for any of the parties involved. Again, not to like jinx it or call attention to it, but it sounds like the guys have streamed and you guys have been respectful and you've been cool, and you know what, bless you for that, and thank you for Oh, is the music going fast? Oh man, I was watching something earlier. And no, it's normal playback speed. It was at like 1.25. Shit. All right, so yeah, be cool to the team. They are they're in the same situation in terms of like what they can and can't speak about, right? And so I think you I think you guys have probably been good so far about like leaving alone on a topic, but please continue to do that, because understand that they can't say anything beyond what I said earlier, which was Nick is no longer on the team. Nick is still a co-founder and co-owner of the company, and we're talking to him about the best way for us to all move forward. Yeah, I will say with the team though, and this is something where like I wanted to like have props on this one. Like actual. Oh, that's what it was. I hit the space bar, I think, Goblin. I just wanted to show something, because the other thing is like people don't seem to understand who we are. So this is the M&M team. They don't all stream. So Atomic Frog, you are actually the first circle. It was just kind of like, it was a spreadsheet, and some people actually are out of order, so they're not in the group. But yeah, so we have a team. It's 41 people, and like I said earlier, 12 of the people are front loaded for compensation in terms of like trying to get them salaries so that they can cover their mortgage and other stuff that's going on. And then we have another 14 that have expressed like, hey, if things are stable, then they would eventually like to come over. If we have sorry, I just glanced at chat and I need to not do that. If we have enough stability, then they would like to come on full time. And then we have 17 that have stable jobs, and they stated that they're probably going to stay like, part-time, and yeah, if that's possible. And for us, it's a passion project. Yeah, there will be money involved if we're blessed enough to have money. Again, that goes back to the whole like, which one's it going to be? Is it going to be everybody's going to quit because of all the crazy decisions we've made? They're going to quit in 2 months and we're only going to have 500 subs. Well, then it's going to be a tough grind, but like, yeah, we're going to keep grinding on it. That's always been a plan, because we think by the time we get a few modules out or we get to 1.0, it's going to be a very epic fun, big world and cool systems. And we know we have a lot of work ahead of us. We still have a lot of work ahead of us going into EA. There's work that we wanted to have done by beta that was not. It's just is not done by beta. And the thing is, this answers, I think, maybe a number of your questions. And I know not everybody is going to like this answer, but you know, the June date for us has been firm for the reasons why industry dates are often, it's always like, man, it sucks that, you know, they went for the date and they didn't try to, or they weren't able to do all of the things before the date, right? Like, what I'm trying to say, basically, we have a date in mind because we have people that we want to try to get paid. And, you know, like Ali and I, it's not us, you know, it's like, the only thing that happens if we make money is the money that, you know, I've got left doesn't leave my bank account anymore. That's it. And that's plenty, right? And so we're aiming to try to have enough subs to get as many of those 12 people taken care of as we can. That's our big goal. And that has always been our like big dream. And I think everybody on the team that's beyond that, the other 14 and 17, I hope we've always been clear that this may be just a passion project for us for quite a long time, right? But yeah. So anyway, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because if we say 40, it doesn't register for a lot of people. It's like, oh, 40 is a number. But like 40 is a number that is not insignificant for a team. A team of 30 people full-time or 40 people full-time is a decent size team. And you got to realize, like, these guys are doing it mostly part-time. We have a number of people that work full-time because, you know, or they work full-time while they're working on their portfolio to try to find a you know, a paying job, right? So yeah, so anyway, we have an accountant. We have 4 animators. We have a goblin. We have, what was the U again? Animator. Oh, I gotta look at the spreadsheet. Sorry, AUs. I should have picked audio. Oh my god, that's perfect. Audio, yes, audio. How could I forget audio? We've got Robert and Douglas. Right. And dude, 2 audio people on this team, especially doing the things that they're doing, it's insane. Like, we're so blessed to have these guys. They're so good. All right. 3 character artists. We got 4 designers that are primarily focused on content. A designer that is focused on a lot of like technical stuff for us. We've got 2 dedicated systems designers, and they're very experienced dudes. One of the systems designer was a senior designer when he became my boss 25 years ago. He's a very capable person. So the former design director of EverQuest, and then the EverQuest franchise and a bunch of other stuff, and then at other companies, is one of our systems designers, and he's fantastic. We have a quest designer, does a ton of writing, and if you've done the Elf Quest, you can see that. Like, I knew all of these earlier, and now I feel bad that, like, I can't even remember my Loan it. DR. What would the R be? I'm trying to like think of people now and like how they're categorized. Shit. I'm just gonna bring up the spreadsheet. I don't wanna. Anyway. We'll come back to it as soon as I can think about it. We've got an editor. So a lot of the mud actions and stuff that you're doing, you know, when you're going around, you're running into like interesting mud actions in different places. That's being put in by our editor. He's editor and writer. And goes through and finds inconsistencies for us and helps tighten up the game, and like just our documentation just gets better and better behind the scenes. Yeah, and so it's been fantastic, right? Like every individual is a solid contributor. I really am. I'm going to bring up the spreadsheet because like I made a periodic table of this shit to try to make it easier, and then now I'm just like, what is this? Are they lithium? EN. Well, I was reading it as EU. We have 4 environment artists. I was going to color code it. Sorry. We have 4 environment artists. And then I realized afterwards that we actually have 6 environment artists, and I only put 4 in the first chunk because we have a new environment artist. So if you've come in to Keeper's Bite on the dock and you've seen that badass boardwalk and stuff, that was the work of one of our newer designers and our new environment artist, and they're putting it together. And one of the owners is also an environment artist as well. Like I said, I'm gonna look at the spreadsheet and figure out what the R was. Design. This, if I had like done this a bit smoother, I think it probably would have been easier to follow. Anyway, we've got 3 GMs now. We've got John in QA. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in tech. We've got a VFX artist on the team. We've got a video editor. We've got the environment artist I was mentioning earlier, who's out of order because I forgot about him. Apologies, because he was in the wrong spot on the spreadsheet. And we've got 5 people that we're talking to that a couple of which are at least one of which will be coming on board pretty soon. And I'm excited to like mention who that's going to be as well, because it's also somebody that I worked with back in the day and has a really great pedigree. So I'm excited to like say that, hey, we've got a crew of people that I've worked with before. So yeah. I think, yeah, because we're talking to a couple GMs. We've got the QA role open, which I'm gonna get taken care of this week. Talking to another person, or like we've got discussions going on tech, and we're gonna like bring someone in there. We're and yeah, like I said, the additional designer. So cool. So I think I covered all the topics that I had on my list. I can't remember. Oh, I think the DR may have been trade skill. That's what it was. Because this was super intuitive. The DR is designer Rift, because I wasn't sure how to represent design trade skills, because if you put 3 letters in the little bubble, it messed up the bubble. So and Rift is on trade skills. So sorry, Rift. So yeah, for those of you that are coming in late, I would say the last part is probably doesn't matter to you much until you go back and watch the VOD. So who will be handling class design and balance? We've got 2 systems designers that were already involved in class design, and primarily though just providing like feedback or data, and we've got 1 programmer who has been working on class stuff, more and more so in recent months. So Zillith in chat has been basically doing a lot of like the feature work and stuff related to the class design. So like as new functionality is needed, he has been, yeah. So like the wizard stuff. Well, but he also did like a lot of design work on more recent Beastmaster stuff, and so Zillith, Jahar, and Ronaf will be stepping into that more. Ali, you guys may not know this about Ali because he's often doing a ton of everything else, but Ali is a very good designer, and Ali, the 3 of us have always considered ourselves like, you know, not just the founders of the company, but also designers of the game. And so Ollie's got some fantastic input on classes and systems and balance and all of the stuff that goes along with it, like TTK and, you know, our overall like progression rate. How long does the journey take? Does it feel long enough? Does it feel good enough? Right. So essentially when you ask like who's going to do systems, or sorry, who's going to do classes, well, it's going to be a handful of people that were already offering some input and doing a lot of the number crunching, and the sorry, I keep looking at chat and getting distracted here towards the end. And the goal is to, from our end, to just keep doing what we've been doing, which is gather more information from you guys as you're playing. I think dig into, you know, the various like data sources a bit more in terms of like community feedback and sentiment, and do you know, go through and see where we want to take certain things, articulate a very clear statement of intent for those changes before we start making a bunch of changes. We want to tell you like, here is what we expect the outcomes to be, and then drive towards those outcomes. But that's all stuff that we can handle on like other streams. Yeah, for my part, I'd like to just keep doing what we've been doing. I think I'll probably be a little less like, oh, go talk to, you know, other people and try to bring it more into, hey, like, here's the information that I've got. I was just talking to these guys and this is where we're at. But like, we just want to, with all of our systems work, we want to provide you guys with a clear understanding of our intent. What is this supposed to do, or what is it going to do? And then we'll tell you how far we think we are from that intent on any system. And then we'll give you a roadmap that will tell you like, hey, we think like devotion or whatever is going to do these things, and we're like 30% of the way done, and we want to roll out this next chunk for this update and this next chunk for the next update, and that's that. So yeah, yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, I promised I'd keep this relatively short. And so with this, essentially I'll look and see if there's some questions I can answer. For those of you that are coming in a bit late, I really do on this one, I have to say, like, recommend just watching the VOD. I hope I've answered, for those of you that have been here for the full hour, I hope that I've answered stuff correctly. I don't know what, I don't even know what that means. Like I said, guys, sorry. This is one of those streams where it's a bit kind of like awkward or whatever. If you've been here for the whole hour and you've learned nothing, I guess check the mod, and if that still doesn't help, I'm sure the internet is going to interpret it for you. So just, I guess, in all fairness, since it is core to the discussion here, and some of you just came in, and you may not want to wait for the VOD. I think for a lot of you, the biggest point of clarity that still won't answer all of your questions, but honestly, a lot of that isn't stuff that you necessarily need answered. Maybe it'll get answered later, but Nick was on the M&M team. He is no longer on the M&M team. He is a co-founder and owner of the company, and that has not changed at this time. And we're going to move forward and hopefully find a path forward that everybody is pretty happy with. Not necessarily you guys, but there's not much we can do to control that other than just like be truthful with you. And that's that. So thank you guys for being here on that front. The open play test is still this weekend. Keep an eye out. I think Ali will let us know if for whatever reason that's not going to be the case. I know we've had some technical issues and the guys have been working through it. The reason why those technical issues happened is as we're adding in as we're making changes to sort of like account for future scaling, and the tech guys can tell me if I'm saying this wrong right now, they're in here, but essentially if we're making changes that account for future scaling, then that can introduce some issues that we've got to work through in order for all of that to work properly so that we can scale properly in certain areas. And so we're looking at things like inventory, and then we've just got some weird stuff that's happened with like mounts, but it's a brand new system. So a lot of that stuff is basically just being worked on. Any plans to add a beta server too? Keep an ear out on that one. And on the topic of like letting people in, you know, we're actually it's a really good situation to be in where you've got people that are upset that you're only letting, you know, like 400 or 500 people into testing at a time. So and I'm not saying that sarcastically, like that is really incredible. It's pretty surreal for us. We set up the lottery when it was like 7,000 people, and you know, we thought we were going to have like half of our player base in the beta. And so it's just expanded since then, and we'll continue to look at how best to get more people in, especially once things are stable. So that's it. Okay. I think I've probably said enough. Again, those of you that you know, missed stuff or whatever, please check out the VOD. Those of you that are analyzing the VOD, I know that hopefully you're fair to the team, and hopefully I presented stuff well enough, and then I hope that we can just keep doing what we've been doing, which is like working on this game. It's exciting for us, and it's, you know, it's surreal, and so yeah, but sometimes it's a tough business, I guess. So, all right. See you guys. And yeah, please be nice to everybody involved. Like, this isn't a teams thing, dude. Please be nice. Appreciate all of you being here. I'm hoping to do some streams again soon. It's, you know, but. All right. See you guys. And big thanks to the team for being here. I appreciate all of you being here. And I do think, like, before I leave, we have a stellar team. You've talked to them. You know they're not bullshitters. You know they're good guys. If you don't trust me, if you don't think this message is sincere or whatever, watch the team. Watch what they do. They're volunteers, man, and it's not like a sunk cost fallacy or anything like that. It's been, I will say, I think the fact that 40 people have been working on this game with the average tenure, even with all the new people we've added in the last year, is like 2.3 years. We have, you know, we've got a handful of people that have worked on this for 4+ years that aren't the, you know, the owners. And like, if they didn't believe in the team, like if they didn't believe in the team, in the project, I would hope that they didn't stick around, right? Like, if anybody on the team thinks I'm full of shit or a bad person or whatever, I would not hold anything against a single one of them if they were like, I'm out of here. Like, they should take care of themselves. I can only try to be as real with you guys as I can, and that's that, even if it's articulated poorly or something sometimes. So thanks again for being here, guys. I'll see you soon, but I'll probably see you in game because you guys keep petitioning over getting stuck in shit. So I'll probably see you tomorrow morning my time over coffee while I'm pulling you out of the ocean and trying to figure out why Charlie the horse isn't showing up, and I hopefully will fix that for Charlie. So see you guys. Love you, and thanks for being here.